till this. I don't think the minute hand and where the for the second hand and the minute hand are really synced up, so we'll call it now. The Human Resources Committee meeting for December 17th, 2020 will come to order. We have no public comment, and we have two items on the agenda. So the first item that we will take up is the minutes from the November 19, 2020 Human Resources Committee meeting. And I'll entertain a motion from either gentleman on the committee when you're prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And looking over the minutes, I'd like to make a motion that the minutes of November 19th, 2020 of our committee be approved, adopted.
I second that.
Okay. Are there any questions, comments? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. The minutes are approved. Next item is the Human Resources SOP, Employee Handbook revisions by Executive Director Burrows, and it's on the uniform dress code.
Yes, sir. At the November HR committee meeting, we presented this item for discussion. It looked a little bit different at that point because it was not put in the format of the HR SOP when presented. So I've then taken that and put it into our standard format there. So it does look a little bit different. The content is overwhelmingly the same. I'll go through it again just to make sure we don't have any questions. The employees will be broken into three groups, three categories based off of the nature of their work. Category 1 employees are field services employees that perform physical labor. Category 2 are field services employees that have public contact but less intensive physical work. And Category 3 are office personnel. Each group will be given a annual uniform allotment based off of their category amount. Well, Category 3 will not because they do not get uniforms, but Category 1 and 2 will be given allotment amounts. And every year they will be allowed to purchase uniforms off of an order sheet that we provide to them and go from there. There's a suggested first year startup for existing employees and new employees as they are hired on that people can go through. So Category 1 employees would be able to get either 7 gray or high visibility yellow t-shirts with 7 pairs of blue work pants. There is a provision that at the discretion of each department superintendent whether blue jeans may be worn. Blue jeans must be clean and in good repair, but will not be purchased or provided by the JWSC. The same for shorts, depending on safety protocols. And then a light fall winter jacket and one heavy winter jacket, both of those with high visibility striping. Or if they prefer, they can get a combination of t-shirts and golf-style shirts that have reflective striping available so that we don't have to wear the mesh vest if they do not want to. However, if someone chooses to not select the uniforms with the reflective striping, they will be required to wear mesh vest as necessary for working in roadways. Baseball-style hats with JWC logo may be available for purchase. Hats without the JWC logo are not allowed. We will not be laundering the uniforms as currently done with Centos. However, we do have laundry facilities available at a couple of our locations, and should an employee wish to utilize this equipment for the laundering of their JWSC purchase uniforms only, it will be available. Category 2 employees will have the ability to get golf-style shirts and with reflective striping opportunities available there, and can get blue or khaki slacks in for their pant choices, or they can get a combination of golf style or button-down dress shirts. Again, high visibility options will be available. Same clauses about baseball-style hats and the laundering of the uniforms. Category 3 employees will not be provided annual uniform allotments. However, there may be times when It would be appropriate for a Category 3 employee to have a logoed apparel, and that will be approved by the executive director prior to purchase. And it goes through a business casual dress code is appropriate at a minimum Monday through Thursday, and then on Fridays, a casual dress code within reason is acceptable. One change we did add here was to allow for more options on the female side for dresses and skirts that had previously been left out. So those have been included here. There's a list of unacceptable attire that has been provided as well for in-office personnel. So the only real change is the addition of dresses and skirts for female employees that had been previously omitted.
Okay, what category do our inspectors?
Inspectors are Category 2 personnel. They're field personnel. They do have public contact, but their work is inherently of a less physical nature. So the thought process is that they will not tear up clothes as fast as, say, a water distribution employee or a wastewater treatment plant employee due to the less physical nature of their job.
Does that also include the project engineers?
Project engineers are in Category 3. Of course, there may also be reasons for them to have a logoed shirt at times, maybe particularly for startup events or if they're going to conferences or something. So as necessary, we may buy one or two of the button-down logoed shirts for project engineers.
My major concern or question is they're working on a project that's in a roadway. Are they going to
They'll have to wear a vest.
have to wear a vest?
Yes, sir. And then, of course, if they're working with any sort of suspended load, they'll be required to wear hard hats as well on job sites.
You know, I keep stressing the fact that the enforcement of this is going to be on the supervisors or superintendents to do this. I know we haven't put anything in here about that, but I know it's inherent that that's what they should do. But I know in the beginning somebody's going to test this and see how far they can go.
Right.
But we got to stand strong, and this is the standard, and they have to meet the standard or exceed the standard. They can't go below the standard, and we got to put that out there strongly. I hate the fact that the first person who violates is going to get slapped hard, but it would be, I'm sure, an example to others that we are serious about the way we look, how we operate, and how we represent this company.
Yes, sir, and I think we talked about this a little bit last time. Getting this out there allows us to reset those expectations for the staff members and how they're going to conform to the dress code. And some things that had kind of been allowed verbally that weren't actually in the plan. Now some of that's available to make sure that's included, but certainly having a new policy allows those expectations to be reset, and we can immediately begin enforcement of the new policy once the uniforms arrive.
I don't like to rule with a heavy hand. I don't think that's what we need to do, but we do need to set out expectations and have them meet or exceed the standards.
In supporting what the mayor's talking about, it's my experience that the supervisors are the ones who are the biggest people that do not comply. And the times that I've noticed that people were not in compliance with our rules on safety around job sites has been the supervisors, and the supervisors were there. So it may be necessary that you sit down with the supervisors and explain to them the expectation and how that nothing can be done in this organization well as long as they don't enforce it.
Yes, sir.
You can also tell them that the board is watching.
Yes, sir.
We are always watching.
Yes, sir. It is, somewhat unfortunate, but if you go on a job site, you'll notice what they're not doing correctly from a safety perspective, because once you get out there, they immediately go get their stuff. So they know they're supposed to be wearing it. So when somebody shows up, they immediately decide, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be wearing that. So they go get it out of the truck. But we will certainly make those points, not just for the uniforms, but also the safety protocols, following up on yesterday's safety stand down. So.
Do we have any suggested improvements to
No, sir. I wasn't here for the safety briefing yesterday. I imagine it went well.
Yes, it did.
It was good to hear a lot of our employees' longevity too as well with that. So I assume that we are operating very well, safety-wise.
At the safety stand down yesterday, the only main point to emphasize is we had a few too many traffic accidents over the last year. Luckily, most were not significant, but we had quite a few traffic accidents, so we are going to make a particular point of emphasis on that, because without traffic accidents, we would have had our lowest incident year since 2012, I think. So we're doing good out on the job site while we're there. We just got to pay a little more attention while we're out on the roadways.
Workers' compensation's coming down.
Yes, sir. Yesterday at Finance, workers' compensation was on the agenda, this afternoon, and it showed a substantial reduction.
Right.
And on the clothing, do you have long sleeve shirts in here at all?
Yes, sir. There will be short and long sleeve varieties available. That is not explicitly stated in here, but on the uniform, there will be short and long sleeve provided.
Any other discussion?
The,
Yeah, a
the
motion.
reflective vest that we wear, I had heard somewhere that maybe we should incorporate it where it's not the vest because of the heat during the
Yes.
summer. What was that discussion?
Yes, sir. The vest that we do have, it is a mesh vest, which does not seem like it would cause much of a heat element on you, but if you've ever worn one of those, it feels 20 degrees warmer. So all of these options have you will have a high visibility option built in. On the t-shirts, there's the safety yellow t-shirts that the whole t-shirt certainly is high visibility. On the dress shirts and the golf shirts, they will have the striping built into them. They don't have to buy the ones with the striping if they don't want them. However, if you don't buy those, you have to wear the vest. So I think the overwhelming majority of our field employees are going to opt for the ones that have the built-in striping. So one, they don't have to keep up with the vest, and two, it's cooler because they don't have to wear the vest all the time. So we're going to give those options. Some employees, they prefer the look normal without the stripes on it and just put the vest on when they're in the roadway. But a lot of our employees are in the roadway so often that it's just easier not to have it built in.
Okay.
Well, I also like the fact that we give our employees options to purchase.
Right.
And we are really setting the tone that we want them to be responsible, responsible for some of the things that they do too as well. You know, we expect that. So I think that's a great thing too, sir.
Thank you, sir. And I will say, we brought it up last time. Currently, we're spending somewhere in the $600 to $700 per employee for uniforms, having them laundered. The first year of this program will be $450 per employee, and the annual renewal will be $250 for Category 1 and $150 for Category 2. So it'll also show a substantial reduction in our uniform costs moving forward.
Well, it also is a substantial increase in our responsibility and our accountability.
Yeah.
And investing in our employees. So that goes a long way too.
And Commissioner Stevens is not here, but we will not be having any of the asphalt-colored shirts in this plan.
And, Mr. Chairman, with that, I would move to recommend that the Human Resources Committee approve the edits to Section 4.14 of the Human Resources Standard of Practices as presented.
I second that.
Any other questions or comments? Does this need to come before the full commission?
Yes, sir. It's on the full commission this afternoon.
All those in favor, please raise your right hand. It's forwarded to the commission. Okay, that ends the agenda. Do you have any other items?
The only thing I was going to discuss, several of you were in attendance yesterday, but we did, as we spoke about earlier, have our safety stand down virtually and our virtual Christmas luncheon yesterday, which was a little bit of a different experience, having a virtual Christmas luncheon instead of us all getting together. But we were able to award a few raffle prizes at our safety stand down, and those have been delivered to those employees. And we gave away some of the metal cups with the JWSC logo on it, and I gave away 12 of them, and I think we're going to have to order twice that next year because those have become a big hit all of a sudden. So, and all the employees that met their safety goals for the year got a rain jacket with high visibility striping with JWC logo built in on it. And yesterday was a great day to give those out because it was a little rainy yesterday afternoon. So they immediately went into service. One of the employees said his wife has already commandeered it for rain purposes from him. So
How much do those cups cost?
those cups were about, we had to pay for the setup of the logo going on there, but the cups are $20 a piece or so. So they're not too bad. The setup was, I think, $65. So minimum order quantity was 12. We got 12 because I wasn't sure how they were going to be received, but we may order a few more next year.
On the service pins that we gave out yesterday, we had one employee that had a 25 years.
We had 125, 120, and 115-year service pin.
The highest that we give is 30 years.
35 years is the highest we have given. Nobody has made it to 40 years with us yet. We gave out a 35-year pin last year to Timothy Ransom.
Tim Ransom?
Yes,
Really?
he made it 35 years. And I think Mr. Eugene at the wastewater plant will be at 35 next year.
Yeah, he's been there pretty good.
So we have 4 employees that have gotten 30-year service pins. So I did know somebody at the city that I work for that made it 45 years. So they have a long way to go to catch him for years of service. I think he just hung around after 40 years just to make it to 45 because nobody had ever got to the 45-year pin. So he just wanted to be the only guy that ever had that. So
Well, I think he will be.
How many new people have we hired?
I recognized any new hires since last year. There was 14 new hires in the past year, which is about average for us. We're usually somewhere in the 12 to 18 range per year. So we're at 14 new hires for the year. Most
You did a great job. You had the pictures up on the screen, too.
Yeah, that was real good.
for the tenured employees with the pins, I like to use the oldest photo we have of them to show how they have aged well with us over the years. So some of the employees that have been the 25 and 30 years, we don't have their photos from the city or county days, so we just have the 2010 photo from JWSC. But as we keep doing that, we'll probably get some good photos over the years that have been included. So, and then when they leave, we put them up in our retirement hall of fame over here. So if you've ever walked down the hallways, this back hallway is photos of retirees, and we're also including those on the back between planning and construction now. So that's a good sign that people are staying long enough to retire with us, that we ran out of space in our retirement picture collection. So, and a couple of our retirees actually came back yesterday for our virtual retirement luncheon and visited with us for a while. So we always invite the retirees back in that process as well.
Retiring commissioner day, too.
We do have a retiring commissioner day, and he's always welcome back for Christmas luncheons and any other events he would like to attend. When we do the ribbon cutting at the wastewater plant, we'll make sure you get the invite for that as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll come with that.
All right.
They did deliver the project trailer today, so there is a new building down there. Big news. There was all sorts of text messages flying around this morning about the trailer showing up.
Well, do we have anything else?
That's all I have, sir.